Hi students, today's class we will learn the topic of consumption and investment functions, Economics chapter 4, unit 1. Before going into the lesson, you should know the meaning of consumption. It means out of our disposable income, we are buying some basic things to fulfill our daily needs. This is known as consumption. Say for example, if I am earning 20,000 rupees, I will buy groceries, milk, vegetables, fruits, etc. for 10,000 rupees. It is called consumption. Remaining amount will be savings or investment. It depends upon the change of income. These two functions play a vital role in influencing the national income. We have already discussed about the national income in the second chapter. National income comprises of consumption goods and investment goods. There is a close relationship between investment and national income. In this chapter, we are going to learn consumption function, psychological law of consumption, investment function, multiplier, accelerator, and super multiplier. Let's learn the meaning of consumption function. The consumption function is otherwise known as marginal propensity to consume. This shows the relationship between two aggregates, that is demand and function, demand and supply. Symbolically, this is represented as C is equal to F of Y, where C is consumption, Y is income, F is function. Here, we have to understand one thing. Consumption is dependent variable, income is the independent variable. This relationship based on ceteris paribus, that is, other things remaining constant. Assumption, அதாவது பொருளின் விலை, economical situations, consumers taste and style மாறாமல் இருக்கும்போது மட்டும்தான் the function நடக்கும். So, if the income increases, the consumption expenditure also will be increased. We can understand this with the help of one diagram. In the diagram, income is horizontally measured, that is in x-axis, consumption measured in y-axis. There are two lines drawn from 0 degree, that is 45 degree line. This denotes equal level of consumption. The slanting curve, that is C curve, denotes the division income between consumption and savings after the equilibrium stage. Few amount of income to be saved. When the income is rupees 120, the consumption also will be 120, where the equilibrium point is B. The next stage is when the income increases to 180 rupees or 170 spent on consumption, 10 rupees is for saving. Move on to next unit, propensity to consume. The technical attributes of the consumption function. They are average propensity to consume, marginal propensity to consume. Both are having substantial economic significance. APC, that is average propensity to consume, is defined as the ratio of aggregate and total consumption to aggregate income in a given period of time. Next, marginal propensity to consume, MPC. It is defined as the ratio of the change in the consumption to the change in income. It may be expressed as MPC is equal to change of C by change of Y. The next unit is Keynes' psychological law of consumption. Further, Keynes propounded the fundamental psychological law. According to this law, as income increases, consumption increases, but not by as much as the increase in income. In other words, marginal propensity to consume is less than 1. Keynes' law is based on following assumptions. First one, ceteris paribus, existence of normal condition, existence of laissez-faire, capitalistic economy. First assumption tells us the other variables such as income, distribution, taste, habits, social customs do not change. Second assumption says that the law does not operate in abnormal conditions like war, revolution, and hyperinflation. Third, it assumes it operates in capitalistic economy where there is no government intervention. That is called laissez-faire. People should be free to spend increased income. This law has three propositions. They are as follows. When income increases, consumption expenditure also increases, but by a smaller amount. The increased income will be divided in some proportions between consumption and savings. Increase in income always leads to an increase in both consumption and saving. These are all the three propositions by psychological law of Keynes. With the help of diagram, we can understand the three propositions of Keynes' law. Here, income is measured in x-axis, consumption and savings are measured in y-axis. C is the consumption function curve and 45-degree line represents income consumption equality. First, see the proposition 1. When income increases from 120 to 180, the consumption also increases from 120 to 170, but the increase of consumption is less than the income, so 10 rupees saved. Second proposition, when income increases to 180 and 240, it is divided in some proportion between consumption by 170 and 220. The savings are 10 and 20 respectively. Third proposition tells increase in income to 180 and 240 lead to increased consumption 170 and 220 and increased savings 20 and 10 than before. You can see the savings gap between 45-degree line and C curve. Today's class we have learned this much Keynes psychological law. So I'll conclude this lesson up to this. Tomorrow's class we will see the next unit. Thank you.